What's up, guys? It's me, boy K-West, and we're back again with another YouTube video. This one, we're going to be looking at the current roster we have for Tekken 7 and just speculating who is going to come back for Tekken 8, because Tekken 8 will be with us within the next 2 years, presumably. And I feel like we can start to speculate and sort of see who's coming and who's not. I think there are a few characters that like we cannot, like straight away, we're going to get the characters that are definitely coming back. And for that, you've got the characters like, you know, Paul, Law, you know, Devil Jin. Well, Devil Jin's interesting, but I'm pretty sure Jin, Kazuya. I think Hwarang's a staple. I think Steve as well is looking pretty solid to coming back. A character like Lee. Actually, Lee's interesting. We'll leave Lee here right now. This is the unsure territory. This is unsure territory for now. Brian, right? There are a lot of characters. Nina, so iconic, right? These are the characters that we're most likely going to be seeing back in Tekken. Jack, you know, King, Yoshi, like these are the ones obviously coming back. But I feel like as you start to thin this out, the margins really start to get blurred about who's coming back and who's not. Like if we look at who, in my mind, who's definitely not coming back, I think our guests, so you know, Noctis, bye bye. Geese, thank God you're not coming back. Negan, was nice seeing you. Like these are the characters who are definitely not coming back in my opinion. But now is where things start to get hard a bit, right? Like if we take for instance someone like Josie. Josie's quite a welcome addition to Tekken 7. A lot of people like her, but a lot of people also like Bruce. You know, Bruce is one of the most cried for characters when it comes to Tekken 7. As we get Ultraman Jew with the Twitch Prime subscription as well, thank you so much. And a lot of people were like, where's Bruce? I want Bruce. They thought for Kumran was going to be Bruce, and now we're in a state of like, yeah, where he at? So that's very interesting. Okay, just had to alter the list a bit, and I've changed it to where the top, if they're in the top half, that means I believe they're coming back, and if the bottom half, I don't think so. And then depending on where they are on the axis, that means whether or not I definitely believe they come back or they may be coming back. So all the characters that I believe were definitely coming back, they're gonna slot up here. It's gonna get very full up here, but don't worry, eventually it will stop being so full. And then the characters that I'm not sure are coming back, sorry, I'm sure are not coming back, go down here. So someone like Lee, who I wasn't too sure about, I think he goes about here. Like I think he could come back, but I'm just not too sure about it, you know. And Josie is someone who I feel like not that popular, not like doesn't really have a lot of the Tekken 7 casts are the ones who I think are going to be on the chopping block when it comes to this. Like I think, for example, we have the boy Gigas. I'm kind of sure he's not coming back. He's had a very tough tenure in Tekken 7, and he's just become a meme. And it's sad, but I feel like Gigas has run his course, and we're probably not going to be seeing him again. Then we take, for instance, someone like, you know, Eddie is interesting. I feel like what they're going to do is I feel like what they're going to do in Tekken 8 is they're going to keep Eddie most likely, and then they'll get rid of Chloe, but maybe give Eddie some of Chloe's stuff. I feel like that's what happened, because Chloe was originally going to replace Eddie. There was a point where Chloe was in the game and Eddie wasn't, but Eddie came back, and then we had both of them, and I feel like Chloe's someone who hasn't gelled very well, and I think it's sad, you know. Like a lot of the Tekken 7 cast, when I look at who's not, like someone like Shaheen, I don't think is coming back. I'm not too sure on it, but I don't think he's coming back. I don't, because he just, as a character, he's very strong, but personality wise, no one really vibes with Shaheen, if we're being honest. No one vibes with Shaheen. He has impact in the story, but I can't remember what. Like he's very, like Ty Niger said, he's very boring. He's very boring. He's very generic. He's kind of like, he kind of has the same story. Doesn't he have like the same story beat as Miguel? Right? Like he just wants revenge. I genuinely don't know, because we don't know much about Tekken 7 character stories. Another one I don't think come back as well, Katarina. you know, nerfing her, like, I don't think she's coming back, honestly, with the nerf she received. And then the fact that, again, another character who's just a bit boring. Not a fan. You know, I don't think we're going to see her. Now, Claudio is someone I think we are actually going to see from the Tekken 7 roster. But the only reason for that is because he's actually relevant to the story. If you've played through the story mode, which if you have, congratulations to you. I'm sorry you had to go through that. But if you play through the story mode, you'll know that Claudio is actually very important to the story. You know, he's an exorcist. What's his job going to be? Probably going to be, you know, he's working for the Mishima Zaibatsu right now. And, you know, who's going to exercise, you know, Kazuya, Jin, who knows, you know, he's kind of relevant. And then, you know, there are other like Tekken 6 characters. We'll look at Tekken 6 for a bit. They were a bit, I do think they'll come back. Like Lars, maybe. Lars is very interesting to me because he's a popular character. I think he's a very well-loved character. But they've made him very bad in Tekken 7. So I do think if he does come back next game, he'll be a lot better. I feel like they might rectify a few of the things, make him a stronger character, maybe give him downfall to the old way it was before. But for now, a character I can see coming back, but my brain isn't too sure on this one. And then you have the Bears. I genuinely don't think they're coming back. Tekken 8. I don't think they're coming back. And if they are, they're going to take one slot. At the very least, one of them is definitely not coming back. And if they get rid of one, they'll probably get rid of Panda because Rangchu won the Tekken World Tour with Panda. And they already nerfed Panda because of it. So they have a vendetta against Panda, and Kuma just gets caught in the crossfire by accident. So with that, I'm very unsure on the Bears' place in the game. They are iconic, don't get me wrong, but I think with Tekken 8, what they might try and do, I feel like they need to do, is slim down the roster. Like with Tekken 8, there's just so many, it's so bloated. There are so many characters that don't need to be there. The roster's huge, too many characters, so many complex characters. Panda? Really? Like, I don't see it. We go to characters I think are definitely come back. I think Ling and Asuka, two very, very popular female characters. Well loved, very popular, you know, two of the top waifus in the game. I can see them coming back, you know. I can see it happening. Now let's get a little bit controversial, and we're going to talk about Leroy. And honestly, how I feel about Leroy is I think he could come back. However, I'm not sure in it. However, if he does come back, I think he's going to be very revamped. They're going to change him a lot. Because Leroy's he was a very popular design. A lot of people liked him before he even came out. They're like, I like this guy, I want to play this guy. And I feel like what they're going to do is, because he's so popular and might bring people to the game, is they're going to rework the hell out of him. Because he has such a cool design. I can really see something happening. On the other end of the spectrum, for Kumram, I'm not too sure he comes back though. I'm not sure he comes back. He wasn't well received from the moment we saw him. A lot of people were like, oh shit, it's Bruce. And then they're like, oh, it's not Bruce. It's this guy. And now the fact that he's become one of the most annoying characters in the game. And I don't think he hasn't had the same anticipation and love that Leroy has. I think that puts him on the chopping block. I think he is on the chopping block, and he's way more dangerous. In way more danger of being cut than Leroy is, in my opinion. Now, next up is where things get really hard, in my opinion. Like, these are all, for the most part, very solid characters that could potentially come back. I think Heihachi is someone I'm not sure, but probably won't come back. Like, because the thing is, he's died before, right? He's died before. This isn't his first rodeo. And like, death doesn't really mean that much in Tekken, you know. And if the next game is a tag game, you know, Heihachi would definitely be there because they have to fill that roster. But for now, I'm not too sure on Heihachi's return. I think we don't need 3 Mishimas anyway. And he's always been the weakest Mishima. And if you're going to... The only thing that's making me... Yeah, maybe he comes back is he's so iconic to the series. I remember I once saw a tweet where someone took a picture of their neighbor. And they were like, and their neighbor had like an open chest, his hair was spiked out, and they're like, yo, why does my neighbor look like the Grandmaster from Tekken, right? And it was and then they put a picture of Heihachi side by side. It's like this guy is iconic to the series. He's very, but that's why I don't see him coming. I see him potentially coming back, but I'm not too sure in it, simply because, you know, he's dead now. But is he really dead? But there's so much going on there, and I think if they are going to slim the roster, it's an easy choice to make. Next up, Akuma. I don't think will be coming back. We all pray he doesn't come back. The only reason he might is because he is canonical to the series, so not too sure on that one. Armor King, not too sure he comes back. Reason being, Armor King is a very popular character, which could see him coming back. He's a very popular character, one of the most played characters online. He's a loved character, but he's not good, and people are not playing him competitively. So I think the decision of Armor King depends on whether or not they want who they're trying to cater to. If they want the competitive scene to, if they're playing more to competitive scene, he probably won't come back. If they want the casual tools to enjoy the game, he will come back. So I think he could come back, but I feel like if they're looking to slim down the roster, he won't. So that's why I don't think he'll come back. I'm in two minds about that one. I'm not too sure, but most likely I don't think he's coming back. He does need buff, but the fact that they don't buff him as well makes me believe they don't really care about him, right? But they could easily prove me wrong. Moving on, Eliza, she's gone. She's definitely gone. I don't need to say much more on that. This is where you look at the list here. It's very tricky. I think Zafina is in a controversial position, and Zafina's more a case of I don't want her to come back, but I can see it happening. So if I'm being unbiased, I can see her coming back. The only reason I'm a bit skeptical on her coming back is because she is so divisive. Like, she crushes everything with the way she moves. Like the way she plays is just so unfair, where she just goes under hop kicks. She has lows that go under hop kicks and stuff like that. Like, I feel like unless they fix that stuff, we probably won't see her in the game, but it's potential. Zafina got some unexpected popularity in the pro scene because she came out so strong. Because she came out so strong with her crushing, she was such a viable tournament character. And fairly easy to pick up as well. Once you got her stances down, fairly easy to pick up. So she was a no-brainer for competitive players. No-brainer whatsoever. Now, this is where things get really difficult for me. Someone like Kazumi, I think the most popular Tekken 7 newcomer, is in an interesting position. No matter what happens here, I'm not too sure on whether she comes back. No matter what happens here, I'm not too sure. But competitively, one of probably the most used Tekken 7 newcomer, right? You saw in almost every top 8 throughout the entire Tekken World Tour, and you know that could see her coming back again. You know, okay, it's a good professional players. But on the other hand, a lot of people like she's so boring. She's so boring to watch. She's so easy to pick up. Like you could so easily just put her moveset into another character and you wouldn't really see much of a difference. That's why I'm saying here, like, it's very hard, but I can definitely see her coming back. I feel like what I should have done is put a cap on the number of characters, because if it's Tekken 8 and completely new Tekken, they're probably going to add new characters. There'll probably be like 4 or 5 new added characters Tekken 8. So if we count who we have as coming back here, we definitely have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 characters that are already coming back in my head canon. I think a roster around 35 could work for Tekken. 35 max. So that's the max number we can have in the top. 35 max will be in the top of coming back to Tekken 7. To Tekken 8, because they still need to add characters, right? Yeah, looking at it now, there are characters like, I think characters like Drag, Bob, and Lily. Oh, not Feng, Lily. Actually, when I just said Lily is one whom I'm leaning a bit towards might not come back. Simply because of her interesting balancing decisions and how she's not very popular at the minute. And like a lot of Lily players just like drop the character. They don't want to play her. They're like, she's useless right now, with Soda Rose having like a genuine character crisis with the character, which makes me sit on the side of she may not come back, you know. That's one you have to keep your eye on for as well. And then with a lot of Lily players as well, a lot of Lily players already had secondaries, or she was a secondary, so they may not be hurting that much if the character goes. isn't. Oh yeah, and Feng will probably come back. I think Feng will come back. Like Harada uses Feng. He'll probably come back, chat. He'll probably come back. I already don't buy that Bob comes back. Nobody plays him. Bob is one of the easier characters to use in this game. And why Bob and Leroy are interesting to me because they both have the same history. They came out messed up as hell. They both came out messed up. And I feel like Leroy could have the same story as Bob moving forward. Like, yeah, he was messed up, but you know, moving forward, he's probably, we're gonna fix him. We're gonna make him okay again. I feel like that's what Leroy's gonna happen. And Bob is used quite a bit. I think it's quite popular in America, actually, being an American character. I think he's quite popular in America, but you like online, you don't really see him, but he has quite a bit of tournament presence. Leo, I can see coming back. I'm not entirely sure on that. Lei is interesting to me because while you don't see Lei played that much, Lei is such a Lei is a true iconic Tekken character, because Lei was the one character who when I saw wasn't on the Tekken 7 roster, I was like, what? He was the only character I had that reaction for. I saw Anna wasn't there, I didn't really care. Zafina wasn't there, didn't really care. Armor King, I was like, yeah, like that makes sense. But Lei, I was like, he was the only character that wasn't in Tekken 7 immediately that wasn't a pseudo clone besides Zafina. So I was like, whoa. So I think Lei will actually definitely come back to the next game. He's an iconic Tekken 7 character. I can definitely see that happening. Marduk, I think, is another one we'll probably see again. You know, quite a popular character, even though he's hated. Quite popular. Good character. I like his design. I think he fits very well, and I think he can stay. I think Julia is another one that's should stay. I think Julia should stay. You know, I feel like Julia should stay, but she might not. That's an interesting one. Ganryu, see, the thing about the old Tekken characters that came back into Tekken 7, right, is like, is choosing to cut them again in the next game a good decision or not? Because they do have to cut down the roster. They have to cut down the roster. There's too many characters. It's so bloated right now. And do you cut the characters that you already had in, or do you cut other characters? And it's very interesting. I think Julia is someone that should stay. Ganryu is someone that should stay. His redesign is I like his redesign. They've done a good job on his redesign. I like it a lot, but I don't know. He's someone who I could see going as well. He's not exactly a mainstay of Tekken 7. You know, he's another sumo. He's an E Honda. You know, he could potentially go. Anna, I don't think is coming back. She's been notoriously weak from the moment she came out. They haven't addressed it correctly. It feels like they don't really care about her. And Anna players as well was someone who people who play Anna now play the character at the start of Tekken 7, so they could easily go to someone else. I feel like she's someone we could not be seeing again. Raven, I think we might see again, but we might see Raven instead of Master Raven. Miguel, most likely, and Alyssa, I could actually see leaving. The only reason I see Alyssa potentially staying is because of her importance to the story. You know, she hangs out with Lars and Lee in that, you know, and if they're in the game, she might be in the game as well. But she's someone who I'm genuinely not sure in her future. I'm not sure. I'm not sure in her future. I know it appeals to a certain group, but I feel like what's interesting, like with Zafina, what I think she's such an interesting pick is if she doesn't come back, you just invite the wrath of the Zafina stans again if she doesn't come back. So how many are coming back? Because we might have to do some cutting down. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32. That's quite a bit if you ask me, actually, now that I think about it, considering they're gonna add maybe 4 5 new characters for Tekken 8. A roster of just under 40. I think I said that was okay before, but I change my mind very often. So I think of the definitely coming back, the top right, there's no one I genuinely think everyone there is coming back. And everyone in the bottom right, I definitely think they are going. It's just the left side that confused me. Bottom left is a bit more. I think there should be more than 32 pre-DLC. I agree. But if you look at it on the base roster, there's going to be new Tekken 8 characters. So if they're like 4 or 5, that's a base roster of like 36. Where did Tekken 7 start out with? I genuinely don't know. I don't know. But I think this is solid. So if you're in the top half, I believe they're coming back. In the right, I definitely believe they're coming back. The left, not too sure. If you're bottom, you're not coming back. Right, I definitely think you're not coming back. Left, I'm not too sure. I really think Shaheen's gonna come back. I'm not too sure on him. I can see him going, and it's fine. Yeah, I think this is how it shapes out. Like the top right are just your iconic Tekken characters. Why do I think Lily's not coming back? Because she's had an interesting life in Tekken 7. She's a very interesting life. She started out quite well. The best step in the game, pissed people off. Got a buff in season 2 and then a nerf that gutted her. And a lot of Lily players have just dropped the characters straight up. A lot of Lilies just dropped her, don't want to play her anymore. They want nothing else to do with the character. And so I think with that in mind, they probably won't be too interested in trying to work with this character. But yeah, I think Lars will come back 100 because of story relevance. But I don't think, like with that logic, Claudio will definitely come back, right? With that logic. That's why I'm not too sure on that. With that logic, Claudio definitely comes back. I do think Claudio might come back because of story relevance, but I don't think that's enough. No, yeah, Lars is definitely popular. I can see him coming back, but I'm just a bit unsure on him because of the meme of how shit he is. Right? The meme that he's such a bad character. But yeah, with that in mind, I think this is how the list shapes up. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. Like this video, share it with your best friend and only your best friend, because their eyes deserve to see this and you love them. And catch you guys in the next video.